everyone, and welcome back to the Astral Tourist. This is Astral Etiquette 101, the passport guide to restricted realms. If you've been getting booted out of places, this episode is the one for you. So today we are going beyond the basics. Usually I focus on the how of getting out, but today is about the where and the who. Specifically, how you can start visiting those higher vibrational places or restricted realms that seem off limits and come with a very clear no trespassing sign for most travelers. I read many posts on Reddit about people getting kicked out, and usually they're just making very simple, small mistakes. So this is for all of you. I've spent plenty of time in astral cities with very strict security, places where you'll see futuristic drones patrolling the perimeters. I've been warned before, don't cross into the desert, don't try to fly off-world, don't fly at all, just float. In the early days, I would push those boundaries. I'm a bit of a rebel, I really am. And, I would immediately get grounded. Sometimes politely, sometimes not so politely. I would question these authorities grounding me or the drones or anybody I could talk to, asking why, what's going on. Sometimes I would get snapped back to my body or end up in some pocket dimension barely larger than myself. It's like they put you in these little spaces to see what you'll do, I think. I don't know. But over time, I realized something important. The secret isn't escaping the security in most cases. It's building an astral passport, which is a bit of rapport with the locals. And this can go such a long way. The 101 on astral etiquette, your astral passport or resume, isn't a physical thing. This is your energetic signature and plus your reputation within specific astral environments. Okay, so every time you project, you are broadcasting a signal. If you are radiating fear, entitlement, or sneaky vibes, you are going to get flagged by the local quote-unquote safety officers. And they take their job pretty seriously. Now, I will interject here, there are many places that don't even have security. Just basic areas, parks and things don't usually have too much. But, if the locals notice you causing too many problems, they will deal with you. So, another thing is one of the biggest rules is what I call the no-touch rule. I change the name of it from time to time, but what it means is astral energy bodies are incredibly sensitive. Touching someone without permission is like, it can be like a sudden vibrational jolt. It's abrupt, intrusive, and it's a way to get flagged in an area pretty quickly. Like if you're just flying around and you're not thinking about it and you're going through other people and their energy bodies, that's, not good. I know that's not like you're being a criminal or something, but, you're not being a very good astral tourist. Respecting space is one of the clearest signals that you're a stable, high vibrational guest. Now, I've accidentally run through folks before in the astral, and the best thing you can do when you've made that kind of an accident is just to apologize immediately. Like step back, say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I realize I wasn't paying enough attention. I realize, that was just a mistake. I'm so sorry." And usually, people are pretty understanding about it when they realize you didn't do it on purpose. Now, when you do have permission or someone asks permission to touch you, normally when they're being very respectful or when you try to suss out which kind of touch it's going to be. Like, is it holding hands? I've had some people put their third eye to mine when I wasn't expecting it, but I had given permission for touch and further telepathy. Sometimes it's more of a gesture towards the heart chakra. So it all depends on what type of communication you're going for and what you're each capable of. So keep that in mind. And if somebody does that, instead of just like racing through you or something, they're trying to be respectful. So keep that in mind if somebody makes a mistake. And, if you make a mistake, just, say you're sorry. And most of the time, people get it. So working with security is a big one. So whenever you encounter security, whether they're guardian figures, drones, people dressed up as officers, whatever form it takes, don't run. Running just confirms that you're a glitch in their system, something unstable. You're just reaffirming to them that you do not belong there if you run. So instead, I use what I call radical transparency. I'll stop, stay calm, and project a clear thought. I'm a peaceful explorer. I'll just project love too sometimes. Just a tourist here. What happened? Feel free to scan me. And yeah, they often will. So here's the shift. You're not just avoiding being grounded, even though you have been stopped. You're getting a stamp on your passport that says you're cooperative. And the next time you show up in that type of area, you're not just a random signal anymore. You're creating like an astral resume. You're somebody that they recognize. They've scanned you. If they scan you multiple times and every time you have peaceful intentions, eventually you're just kind of a local, or treated as one. I've even had moments where I was asked to wait in a room, and then sometimes they'll just leave. And I think they do that to see if I'll leave the room. Like they asked me to wait, right? So what am I sitting there for anymore? Did they forget me? And I think it's just a test. Like, will she really just stay there and be peaceful? Or will she like try to sneak out and then we'll follow her or something? So a lot of these are just little tests. So I'll add on here that I realize these security measures can seem really frightening, but that's part of the test. So just try not to be. I've actually had these reactions before where I noticed I began running instantaneously or flying, usually actually in my case. And then I stop and I'm like, why am I flying away here? What's going on with that reaction? And then I'll stop or slow down and then stop. So, you can catch yourself mid-flight. It's okay. We all make mistakes, and maybe you do just want to fly off, and that's okay. Just realize, that's more of the negative stamp for that astral area than a positive one, right? And we want to make good impressions out there. Now it's time to talk about your astral ident, the passport itself. Now, for me, this has revealed itself in various ways. Sometimes when I'm in an area, I won't be stopped particularly, but I'll be directed to, an entry kind of area with special desks and everything. And that's where they will ask for my ident. So this is the passport ident being displayed in an energetic kind of a way. And the different ways I've seen it are like a thick book of recommendations from other people in the area. Sometimes I just pull out a card, but my name isn't correct on it. And I've even pointed it out to the personnel, and they'll be like, oh, that's okay. We recognize you from, whatever. Usually there's a ton of other information on there. So, and I can't read it all. I can only sometimes make out the first couple lines. So there's sometimes these little electronic futuristic cards I've seen. I've seen myself pull out from my astral bag a regular looking passport with just pictures in it and codes. So this is all very matrix-like stuff, but that's what I see. So it could be a book, it could be recommendations, it could be a huge resume a mile long. But that's your astral ident there. Something that most people I don't think talk about enough is networking. Now, networking matters. When you respect boundaries, help others even when you don't have to, don't cause disruptions, you're building a rapport and even camaraderie with all these various different beings. You're building trust. And that's where things really shift. Because once you're known as a good signal you're a good tourist. You don't just get tolerated. You start getting invited places. I've had experiences where those I've met in one area will later bring me somewhere completely new. And places I probably wouldn't have found. This one lady, she kept bringing me through all these futuristic looking glass doors, holding my hand. And, I had said yes, and yes, show me. And we ended up on this spectacular desert planet that was just incredible. It was huge. It was one of those gemmy planets. I don't know how often you hear about the gem-ridden planets out there, but some just seem to be filled with crystals and gems, like they're mining planets, I guess, or something, only they're not being mined. So, and these are places I would not have discovered on my own. And there have been other places, too, that I've covered in my other videos. One was an Atlantis outpost. I've seen various Atlantis areas, and this one in particular I was invited to by a lady just because I was friendly and chatting with her. This is many years ago. And she said, I have somewhere special to show you. She didn't tell me where it was going to be. I didn't find out till we got there. So, I was like, whoa. And, your astral passport isn't just about access. It's also about relationships. So keep that in mind. Have good relationships, at least as much as you can. I know that, it can be challenging and you won't always see the same people. But your vibe is out there, and that's what matters. Of course, if things go sideways, and they will sometimes, you might hit a boundary where everything goes blurry, or you get redirected into some kind of a containment pocket, like I've shared about, like a small office room, or even just like a pocket dimension. And when that happens, remember, don't panic. Stay calm. Center yourself. And either intend to wake up or create like a makeshift portal right around you. You can bubble yourself out if you think to, and shift environments. So these moments aren't failures. Think of them more like boundary checks and, learning moments. We're all learning. So, you're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. At the end of the day, treat every interaction a bit like a diplomatic mission. You're not trying to force your way into these places. Don't just plow on through. You're showing that you already belong there by, being friendly with the locals. If security stops you, let them scan you, and you can ask them questions back too. A lot of the times, that's fine. And they'll answer questions and be like, wow, you're really lucid. And they'll answer some questions for you too. And doors start opening that you didn't even know existed. Thanks for tuning in. Lots of love, everybody, and happy astral travels.